Thank you for joining me with the creation of Kingdom of Erart. I'm SpunkieMunkie. Welcome to jail, complete with working levers. That's right, guys. Got the jail set up. Cell 6 is over there. You see the door is shut. These ones are open. That one's shut. Check this out. There's cell 5. It is now shut. And it does work in reverse. Just go ahead and press them both. Pretty cool, huh? I'll show you real quick how I did that. It's pretty simple. It's just a simple fill commands. So the power is not on right now. And you can see the this one's to close the bars. It's just to fill with the iron bars. And then this one will fill with air. And that's what opens and closes. And these are the reverse of it. I just used a torch to reverse the fills. And that's how I set up open and close. So I thought it turned out pretty good. I didn't have that great of a week, but so this is really all I got done. But that's okay. This week we're going to get more technical. We're going to set up a resource pack, a behavior pack, and the reason why we're doing that today, even though I'm not really going to use either the resource or the behavior pack right off the bat here, we'll get to that in later episodes. But we need to have a behavior pack set up in order to use functions, which is what I really want to use. So that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to get these packs set up so I can start up the functions. So let me head back down to the command block room and we'll get started. Okay guys, we are here in the command block room. Don't have a lot of command blocks left right now in here, but hasn't really changed from the last time I showed it to you. But the reason why I want functions is you see here I've already got a string going right at the spawn point. If you recall, this is where you spawn one up and then fall down on the pressure plate and you'll trigger any command blocks that are here. But what's happening here is, I'm setting the emeralds objective to 0 for the player, and then I'm setting their vault to 0, which means they don't own a vault for each individual player that spawns into this world and starts off. Now I'm going to end up with quite a string of command blocks. So the point of the functions is I can put all these commands for these command blocks in a text file, and it'll do each individual command in order in the text file, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So that way all it would need is one command block right here to call that function, and then it'll run everything, instantaneously. So it won't even have to go through all the command blocks. It just got to read one command block to call the function, and then the function will run all the individual commands. And it'll make it easier for me to add commands later. So I'm going to want a function here, obviously, for the spawn. The spawn is definitely going to be, I'm probably going to, like I said, give you guys some emeralds to start off the game with so you can buy yourself some weapons, armor, stuff like that. I'll probably want a function for the day. Instead of this lamp, I'll have just a command block here to call a day function. And then I'll have one here to call a night function. So the first thing we need to do is set up the resource behavior packs. So let's go ahead and get into that. Okay guys, well, unfortunately I've already recorded all this, but I did it in my original software. I'm using different software now, so let me know what you guys think. I think the sound's actually better. So Erart, which is right here, I also have a couple copies. This is actually already done, and I will show you here. So here is our main map, and here is our resource pack, and our behavior pack are already set up. So what I did in order to recreate this video is I have a new one called Function Erart, and I'm just going to use this. It's just a copy of this one to show you how I got to this point. So the first thing you need to do, let me bring my Chrome over, because see, this is the part that we couldn't see in my old software. It just kept recording Minecraft. So that wasn't doing too good. But the first thing you want to do is you go to minecraft.net en-us, which is the English version, and you go to the add-ons page. And I'll try and remember to have all these links in the description below. But what you just need to do on this page is right here, you have Minecraft's unmodified files are a good place to start if you plan on making your own add-on, which is what we're doing. So the first thing you want to do is download these two zip files, which I've already done. So I got them right here. They come like this: behavior pack and resource pack. So what you want to do is unzip those, and I've already done that. They're up here. So the first thing we need to do is open up this vanilla pack, and you can see all the goodies we got here. We can change the UI, textures, text, sounds, models, entities. So this is all the stuff that we have control of changing. But what we really need right now are these two. Actually, before we do that, let me explain something else to you here. Okay, so now that we've got these resource and behavior packs downloaded, what I like to do is I like going to this tutorial for creating a resource pack, which is on Gamepedia. It's in the tutorials, create resource pack add-on. And what it says in here, just in layman's terms, is to start your behavior pack in this main folder here. So here's your Minecraft worlds right here. There's all of my worlds right there that are currently on there. You have a behavior pack and a resource pack folder, and you can see in my behavior pack is where I did some testing to make sure I got the functions working correctly. But I got my pet spider here, and he's basically trainable, rideable. He's really cool, so if you guys haven't seen that, you should check that out. But so I can include this in any world. I can start up a new world, include this pet spider behavior pack, and all the spiders in that world will be tameable and rideable. So that's in this. I can actually do it in any world. Now in this case, that's not what we want. I want it in a specific world, which happens to be right here. And I'm in the Minecraft worlds folder now, and I know that this is the right one. This is the one thing I don't like about Bedrock, because it doesn't actually show you the name, it just gives you this funky code. So in order to know which one you're actually working on, you open that up and you have to click on this level name and see function Erart. That's the one we actually going to be doing this on. So I know that that is the correct one, and you'll notice it has its own resource pack and behavior pack folder in it. So what we need to do is go to the resource packs and start up a new folder, and we're going to call it, there we go. Now in that Erart resource, this is where we go back to our vanilla resource pack, and we copy this manifest. Oops, we don't want to rename it, we just want to copy it, and the pack icon. Those are the only two files we need right now. We don't want to include any of these until we actually need them, because it's just going to increase the file size of the world, which we don't want, and can also cause unforeseen issues. So right now we're just going to start up the main resource pack itself. So we'll copy those, and then we'll go back to our Erart resource, and then we'll go ahead and paste these in. Perfect. Now there's also a program that I like to use. It's called Notepad++. Basically what these are, like this manifest is the one we're going to have to work on first. It's called a JSON file, which is, true. And the reason why I like Notepad++ is it's got all the languages, and right here is JSON. Now this particular file, though, even though it is in JSON format, is actually a text format. So this automatically starts me off with the text format, but what we need to do is go back to this one, and we go ahead and open this manifest, and we want to edit with Notepad++, and see, there it is, it pops it open for me. Okay, now what we've got here is some examples, which of course we don't want. We just want to call it Erart resource pack. So what I like to do is just copy this and put this in all the places, in place of all the vanilla part. And example vanilla. Right there, like just like that. Okay, now the only other thing you have left that you need to change on this is these UUIDs. These all have to be unique in order for this. There's another one down here and there's one up here. These have to be unique in order for Minecraft to show this as a true resource pack. And how we do that is we come on over here to uuidgenerator.net, okay, and we want version 4, and you can see here is a number. Looks very much like the other one, so what we do is we just copy that, and then we go back to our notepad and we just go ahead and highlight all this and paste it in. Bam. So now that number is in there. So now we need to replace this one. So we'll come back here and you can see this is already copied, so we'll just click on this to refresh it and it gives us a whole new number. Just click copy again and we'll paste it in down here. Voila, done deal. So now we can go ahead and save it. Okay, so now that we've got that, we'll just okay, we're going to go ahead and what you need to do is actually close down Minecraft and then start it back up again. Okay, and then once it's started, we can go to the world itself. We go to this little pencil thing here, and before we actually start it, we'll go to resource packs, and you can see here is active packs and available packs. Active pack, you will always get global resources, which is what Minecraft comes with. Now this resource pack is the one we just created, so we just click on it and then click the plus, and now the Erart resource pack is above the global resources in the active packs. So now it should be all set to go. Now when I click play, you want to see a screen. It might pop up real quick, but it'll say that it's saving it. That's what you want to see right there. Perfect. So as long as the game starts up okay, we're in good shape and our resource pack is set up and ready to go, and here we are. So now we can go ahead and save and quit. Make sure it's all nice and saved. So our resource pack is now set up. So now what we do, come back here, and we need to go to the tutorials behavior pack, and again it says to use the world folders, but we're actually using the world itself, Erart's folder, because this is only going to be in Erart. So again, what we need to do is we need to go back to our resource pack, our vanilla ones from our downloads, and here's the behavior pack, and again we just copy the manifest and the pack icon, and we'll copy those and then we'll go back to our world folder, and we don't want the resource pack, so let's go back to the world folder because now we're going to set up the behavior pack, and we're going to make a new folder in here called Erart behavior, and we'll open up that folder and then we'll paste those two files in. Perfect. Okay, now what we want to do is edit this with Notepad. You see now we have two manifest.jsons. Now this is the one for the behavior pack, and again we'll go ahead and change this names. Okay, now again you see that there's UUID here, a UUID here. These two need to be again unique. They have to be different in order for Minecraft to acknowledge this as a behavior pack. Now this one down here is a little different scenario, and its dependency is something they just started, so I'll explain that in a minute. But for now, let's go ahead and get our unique numbers for that. So we'll go back to the online UUID. This one's already copied, so we will refresh it and then copy. And we'll paste that right in, right there. And then we'll go ahead and do it again for the second one. Refresh, copy, and we'll paste that in right here. Okay, now this number for dependencies, what this is this behavior pack will be dependent upon this resource pack. So what we want is under this modules, we have this unique UUID. We want to copy this one from the resource pack and replace this one in the behavior pack. And bam. Okay, so now our basic behavior pack is all set up, but our main goal right now is to set up functions. So we can go to the functions page in the wiki, and we can use this, but one of the things that we need to do is include a minimum engine version, and that just shows Minecraft which version of Minecraft that it will run in. It'll run in at least that. Okay, so functions didn't come in until 1.8. So what we need to do, and I found this actually, if you look right here in the resource, there's already one here. Okay, now you see there's a comma behind this one, and then there's not a comma for this last one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this and go back to the behavior pack, and right after this version right here, I'm going to put a comma, just like it showed, and then hit enter, and then I'm going to paste that in. Now what I'm going to do is change this, just like it showed in the tutorial, to 8.0. So it's for version 1.8. Now this line has to be in here in order for functions to work. And don't forget this comma, otherwise it won't work. And then there's no comma here after this one. So now we're good to go. Let's go ahead and save it. Now we'll go back to the game, and again you have to close it down and then open it back up. Okay, now that we're here, we can go back to this page, and just like the resource packs where it's got the Erart resource pack, we got behavior packs, and there's the default, and here's the behavior pack we just created. So go ahead and add that in, and it'll say no more achievements, and it says it's missing, but it will do the dependency after it's installed. Okay, so now our behavior pack is now active. So now what we need to do, and again I watch for that save screen, and there we are. Excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and save and quit again. So far we've got ourselves a resource pack and a behavior pack all set up. So what we need to know in order to make the functions work is we're in the behavior pack, we need to make a new folder, and we need to name it functions. Just like that. Okay, now that we're inside the functions folder, this is where we put all our functions. Now we can put another folder, new folder, and I'm going to call this one Erart Castle. And that's to signify all the functions that are in the castle itself. So I can actually have as many of these folders as I want. I can have Erart, City of Erart, and then of course there's other towns and stuff that we'll have visited, and I can actually separate it all out and make it all nice and neat for me to find the functions later. So now that we're in the Erart Castle, we can go back to Notepad, and we can go ahead and close these out now that we know we're in good shape on those manifests. And Notepad++ automatically starts off with a text document, which is exactly what we want. So what we want, we'll just do a simple command like say hello. This works. Okay, and we will file, save as. Now here it is in our Erart resource pack, but that's not where we want it actually. Behavior pack, behavior, there we go, functions folder, and then we want to put it in our Erart Castle folder, and we will call it spawn. Oops, just go lowercase. Okay, but you see how it's showing it as a .text. Okay, we do want it saved as a text file, but we need to call it MC function. So it's .mc function, and then we go ahead and save that. See, now it says spawn.mc function, and in our Erart Castle folder there is our spawn, and it is an MC function file. So that's all we need to do on that. So we got to remember Erart Castle and then spawn. So we can go ahead and close out the game again. Okay, so we've already got the resource pack is already active. Our behavior pack is already active. So we can go ahead and click play, and again you see the saving of it. That's perfect. That's see. Okay, and here we are. So now we can test out that function. We'll just type it in real quick here. Function, and we want Erart Castle for the folder, and then the file is spawn. It's successfully executed one function, and you can see out there at the top, SpunkieMunkie, hello, this works, which is exactly what we have in that function, if you recall, right there. Perfect. So what I can do now that we know that our functions are working, what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and control copy these command blocks, and I'm just going to throw them over here for now and get rid of them. Okay, and bam, bam. Now we can just pop this in here, and now we can actually function spawn, and it's basically the same thing we just typed in before. Function Erart Castle / spawn, and now this one command block will call this function page just like it did. Okay, now what we can do is I can go ahead and add in the commands from those command blocks. The commands from these two command blocks, I'm going to go ahead and change that into this one. Okay, now I've already got the commands copied, so all I got to do is replace this text that I have in here with that. Voila. And then we'll go ahead and save it. Okay, now you notice I have not closed out the world, and this is the reason why you want it in the actual world folder. It's because all I did was change that function, so all I need to do is reload it. But before I do that, okay, so now the emeralds on the side, remember this one sets to 0, sets emeralds to 0. Right now I'm showing 0, so let me go ahead and give myself some emeralds. Okay, now you see on the right I have currently 64 emeralds in my account. Now before we jump in there, what we need to do, and because all we didn't add in a new function, we just changed the spawn function itself to include these. So because of that, we don't have to actually close the game out and redo it. All we need to do is type in reload, and see it reloads. You can see existing function files have been reloaded. Restart Minecraft to reload new functions. So anytime you add a new function, you have to close out Minecraft and start it back up again. But once the function page is in there, you can make as many changes as you want, and then all you got to do is type in the reload, and it'll be taken care of. Now for some reason, the first time I click on this, it doesn't work. But every time after that, it does. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of right now. So let's step on it, and it worked this time. Okay, so you see my emeralds are 0, and my vault will be at 0. Because you can see up in the top left there, successfully executed 2 function entries. So that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. We don't need these anymore. So now instead of a string of command blocks right here, we just got the one command block to call this function. And because of this function being on a text file, you can see I got the coordinates in here and all that. And all I got to do is, if I want to change something else, I can just copy it and paste it. I don't have to worry about, as long as my coordinates are originally correct when I typed it in, which we just tested and we know it is. So if I'm going to set something else to 0, another objective, I would just highlight this and change it to whatever other objectives we have. I don't know yet, but that's all you gotta do is a nice easy copy and paste. So it'll be a lot easier than me typing in all these coordinates all the time. So it'll make it a lot easier being as a text file. In this case, I don't want to save that, so no. So really, that's about it, guys. So now we have successfully made a resource pack, so we can change the graphics on any of these creatures, blocks, whatever we want in the future. We have a behavior pack set up, so we can change their behaviors, change the sounds, all those neat goodies. And we also have functions set up, so I can make a lot more coding and only call one command instead of having strings of command blocks. So that's exactly what we're looking for. So thank you again for joining me in creating Kingdom of Erart. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to see more. And I hope this is informative. I haven't seen a lot of videos on how to actually create the resource and behavior packs and how to make functions work. So hopefully this helps a bunch of you guys out, start making your own maps. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.